Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to do a quick recap of some cards that have come in recent times or just in the last few weeks. In all honesty, I haven't bought a card in 2 weeks, so these are stuff I bought maybe 5 to 6 weeks ago. It's finally rolled in and finally thought I'd do a video. I'm just kind of like really uncertain times. I'm just kind of taking a wait, see as I go kind of approach. But here are some stuff that I have picked up. Nothing really high end, obviously, because of I'm just looking to find stuff that I'm interested that isn't that expensive. I was able to pick up this Phil Niekro card that I needed. It's got the stain designator, and if I can tilt it just right, there's a big wax stain right here. I mean, you can't even see it on this, so it's really hard to see with the naked eye, but a really clean card. And I needed that for the Niekro run. I just need his 78, 79 to complete everything from his 60s and 70s. A cool Fleer stamp with Ozzie Smith on it. This is a card I just had to buy because it was so cheap, under 10 bucks, combined shipping. I remember paying like almost $20 for that card a year ago. Edgar Martinez fan. My second one of these SP Manny Ramirez foils. I got it for around 10 bucks. This Collector's Choice Special Edition, I believe that is, with Jeter from 95 Collector's Choice. Then a 95 Fleer Minor League Prospects Derek Jeter. A really cool Bowman, this is the foil, it's got a lot of shine to it. Looks like that might be a little overgraded, a little off center left to right, but it looks a lot better than that 7. And then here's an interesting card. This is the sample of that Score 96 rookie card for Jeter. Then his Topps Future Star. I got this in a 9, got several 8s. Now I have it in a PSA 9. And a couple 97 Upper Decks. Looks like they took this shot in consecutive shots, but that gets different cards, right, from the same set. I continue to look for Jeter, Griffey, A-Rod, some 90 stars, just kind of guys that I'm interested in. You know, I don't buy anything that I'm looking like. I'm not trying to move anything. I'm a collector at heart, and that's all I'm doing. I don't sell stuff, so I'm just trying to buy stuff that I think will have good value. Obviously, I'm not going to buy something if I know it's going to go down in value. I'll wait for it to go down in value. So I've been picking up small stuff. I was able to bundle these two together. A couple of 8.5 Montanas. I did not have the 87 Montana yet, but I do now. Got it in times 2. Here's a 98 Pacific Crown insert for Peyton Manning. It's my first Drew Brees card. Shows him in his Purdue uniform. Low end, very low end. I think I paid less than $4 for that. So another time a seller had 2 of these. I was able to win them both for fair prices. I'm a little disappointed. I reached out to ask if he would do combined shipping. He said, no, because I'm going to be sending them in really small envelopes, and I'm a new seller, so you'll see when they arrive. Well, they arrived together in the same envelope after he doubled up my payment shipping costs. So it was, instead of paying $5 or $6, he charged me like 10 bucks to ship. And then he put them in the same package when he clearly told me he couldn't do that, and that's why he refused to provide combined shipping. So a little irked on that, have not left feedback. I'm kind of thinking about what I want to say on that. I'm pleased with the cards. There's no issue with the cards, and I'm pleased with the price I got them at. I think he may be the seller trying to recoup some losses on it by making it up on shipping on my end at my expense, which is not exactly honest in my opinion. Only charge for shipping should only really be what it costs you to ship the card, right? Now, if you're having to drive 2 hours into town, to drop it off at the post office, I can understand that. But if it's just, you live in St. Louis Obispo, and I know exactly where that is because I used to live right by there. You have access to mail facilities everywhere you go. All right, so this 97 Finest Chauncey Billups, 2 Chauncey Billups. This is actually a refractor. Got that for about 11 bucks. I'm off my rant. Sorry about that regarding the combined shipping or the lack thereof. These are the EX Exceptionals from 2000 Skybox EX 2000. I continue to collect these. These are some of my favorite inserts from, I guess, Not necessarily the 90s, but early 2000s. I've got a couple of these raw. Trying to get them all graded one form or another. Prefer them being PSA slabs, but they still look good. A couple of CSG slabs as well. I've been trying to get this Iverson PSA slab for a while. These are all very inexpensive cards. Talking $3 to $5 each. A couple of greats from the 80s. A nice Randy Johnson. A couple more Jeters. And then moving on to some pretty cool old school vintage stuff here. This 1970 Topps from the NBA Championship Series. They did a couple of shots here as I try to work around the glare. This first one, it says Willis Reed. It's got Reed's autograph, or his fake autograph on there. It shows him, but it's also got Jerry West on there as well because they're playing the Lakers. And on the back, it'll break down the game statistics, who had what. Look at all the Hall of Famers in that series. Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, and then for New York, you've got Dave DeBusschere, who we'll see, Bill Bradley, Willis Reed, Walt Frazier. So a lot of good talent in that series. Boy, that'd been fun to see. And then also here, here it shows Dave DeBusschere, but it's got Wilt Chamberlain playing defense on him. So I love these cards because it tells a story, takes you back to a different era. And I've always been a fan of the history behind these old school basketball matchups. And I think that 69-70 NBA Championship Series was a pretty big deal back then with all that talent on the court. And then another odd piece here, this 1952 Dixie Cup. This came on the top of an ice cream, little self-serve ice creams. And this is Gene Kelly. So I saw quite a few of these listed. It had like Elizabeth Taylor, had John Wayne. I think it even had some other prominent Hollywood names. Bob Hope was another one I tried to get. I was able to win this one for about $7. Then you add 6 shipping, you know, and all it's probably about $18, but a really cool piece. You know, Gene Kelly, one of the greatest screen dancers of all time. I remember taking a film history class in college, and we watched Singing in the Rain one time. It is the ultimate pick-me-up movie, right? A movie, you know, you're down from watching the local news or what the nation's going through right now because, you know, lean economic news, you know, all this tragedy of school shootings and inflation. It's a tough time, right? Watch Singing in the Rain. It'll pick your spirits up, right? That's a good Friday night movie to watch with the family. Another last piece here, ungraded Court Authentics, Kevin Garnett. Card's got some condition issues, but it's an actual authentic game-worn jersey back when they actually put game-worn materials in. It's numbered to 75. It's a ruby. So a cool piece. I like the fact that it was quasi die cut. Not necessarily die cut, but it's got the rounded corners. Still, it was probably in some kids' collections. Got a little bit of banged up. Not a grade stuff, and I don't send stuff in to be graded regardless, but cool piece for my Garnett collection. I'm just going to put it in the Garnett PC. But that's kind of what I've been buying, you know, nothing big. You know, it's, I don't know if it's the time is right to go out and buy a 1986 Michael Jordan PSA 10 for $250,000. Who knows? You know, it seems like the high-end cards Steve may be doing still quite well. All my vintage cards, man, they're more than, a lot more than I paid for them still. So we'll see what the market does. I doubt the vintage will fall off a rock, but I fully expect all the ultra-modern stuff that you coincidentally never see in my videos for a reason is just going to keep dropping because the supply and demand, the demand is diminishing and the supply is exploding. So it's just simple economics. But this stuff right here is stuff that we'll see a little bit of pop increase. I mean, you can see stuff like this getting graded more often, but not to the extent at all of what all these, 2018, 19, 20 Prizm basketball. That stuff is just way too common. But anyway, tell me what you think. Are you buying anything? Do you think the market's okay or safe to still pick stuff up? And if so, what do you think, what deals are out there? So let me know. I appreciate your posts, your comments, and I'll talk to you again soon.